What up, T Squad? It's your girl Keisha, and I'm here with a new behind the scenes T video. Baby, Christian Gold, Jennifer Williams Gold, new husband, baby mama, has finally came out and said her side of the story and has aired her baby daddy out. Y'all, when I seen how the baby mama look, I said, that's the baby mama? She looked like she could be his twin sister. They look exactly alike. But y'all, let's get into this tea, because I have not listened to anything. I have not read anything. I just have been compiling things to bring you guys all of the tea. So this will be my first time hearing what both of the parties have to say. So let's hear what the baby mama had to say when she aired Christian out.
My issue with people is that you think that you can go into somebody's house, build a relationship, get close to those people, and then walk the fuck out and throw a grenade in that bitch and light it on fire, and then you turn around and look back like you did nothing. You take no responsibility for what you've done to cause chaos in people's lives. That's my issue that I have. Because if we really want to talk about it, we have receipts, text messages, conversations showing where you have disrupted the peace in people's homes. That's why you owe people money. You owe your own children money. You owe your own children so much back pay because you don't take responsibility for what you're supposed to do as a father, as a businessman. That's why we're speaking up. So y'all can give zero fucks all you want. My issue with people, so get ready. Because yes, I am mama. I am taking care of these babies. And guess what? I want you to live your best life. Do what you want to do. Travel, see the world, live your best life. But stop causing chaos in other people's lives and not taking responsibility for what you have to do to fix it. Fix it. Stop not paying people back. Stop ignoring the fact that you owe child support. Stop pretending like, oh, life is so grand and we're rich and we have all this money and we're just living our best lives and we don't care what we're doing to everybody else. We're just la 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 la, just fuck everybody. We're living our best life. Okay, keep living your best life, but guess what? We're coming for you. We're coming for you because you still owe money. You still need to take responsibility, and if you don't want to do it, we're going to make you.
Well, we knew it was a matter of time, child. Why Enchanted Faces in the comment section said she remind me of Andrew Caldwell. Now I cannot unsee it. I knew it was somebody else she looked like outside of him. Oh my God. Her and Andrew Caldwell are identical twins. Oh my goodness gracious. Wowzers. So how many kids does he have with her? Like 2? So this is the baby mama that's in Atlanta that he be having to fly down there and go to court for when he decides to show up. Child, this is so ghetto and trifling. I mean, I believe every word that she says about him, that he hasn't been helping with the kids and owing people money. Like, we all know this to be true. No matter how much he likes to make excuses and Jennifer likes to make excuses, girl, we see right through the BS. Right through it. Now, I don't know what made her decide to speak up now. Because he been acting a fool on the internet now for what? About almost 2 years. She's been quiet this whole time. So I really want to know, like, what made her pop out finally and speak up. I wonder. But of course, Christian took to the internet to defend himself. So let's see what he had to say.
There is currently no child support order. There's no child support order. I've been waiting on a child support order so we can continue to do things as the court puts in place. Because once the court puts it in place, neither one of us want to back out of that, because there then becomes legal consequences, right? Neither one of us want that. Damn sure not me, because I've dealt with enough legal consequences in my past. Also, it was posted on the blogs by Evelyn that I skipped court twice. I've been to court multiple times in regarding child support, right? I've been to court. Right. I also went to court for abandonment charge because she claimed that there was abandonment. Okay. You cannot get locked up for abandonment if there's no child support order. So in 2020, my children's mother, my daughter and my son, we start dating. Really more so toward the end of 2019, right before the pandemic, we started dating. Things were good, of course. Things are always good at first in most relationships. Sometimes they don't stay that way, and I'm not saying everything should be perfect, but things were great. And of course, the relationship, it took its toll. I don't know what postpartum feels like. I'm not here to talk bad on my children's mother because I don't know what postpartum feels like. I don't know what women have to deal with internally when it comes to hormones. I don't know, right? I can only be there to support, right? But also having to navigate my own life, right? My own life traumas and my own life experiences. I was showing up for myself, but also trying to show up for my kid's mother as well. That turned out to be toxic. There was a lot of insecurities involved, of course, with her thinking I'm dealing with other women when I really wasn't. I was really just a stay-at-home dad, living a private life, and that's all I cared about, was just being home, running my business, and making sure my kids were taken care of. That got toxic to the point where I wasn't going to bring this up, but I was actually physically abused, and I could have pressed charges.
God.
I could have pressed. See, this is the thing that men don't come out and talk about. We're told to shut the up, right, and not talk about it. But I was actually physically abused, which I actually have on video, right? Because because here's the thing about domestic disputes, whether it's the male or the female. Typically, if the male is causing some type of force or inflicting any type of physical suffering or injury on a woman or a female, the cops get called. No matter if you have bruises, marks, whatever, the man gets locked up. He gets put into custody. I could have been that person and said, you know what? This is physical assault. I could call the police and get you locked up. But no, I didn't do that because at the end of the day, I don't wish it on anybody. And number two, I would not do that to the mother of my kids. So what I did was I said, you know what? I'm going to leave. It took everything in me. I'm going to be completely transparent. It took everything in me not to go off. But I said, you know what? I'm going to leave. And even before that transpired, we were already in a place of like, this is just not going to work out. And that resulted in me moving on, right? Things get toxic, but guess what? People move on. It doesn't mean that you hold me by a carrot or you hold me by a string and say, okay, since you wanted to leave, because on the video that surfaced online just a few minutes ago, it said that I got up and I just left. That's actually not the truth. I never just got up and left. Actually, I tried to work it out. I tried to work things out because I never wanted my children to have a broken house. I'm not going to be labeled as a deadbeat because I'm not. Did my children receive support financially? Most definitely. Was her rent paid? Most definitely. Were her bills paid? Most definitely. Because I have documentation, I have receipts as well. Have they spent time over here with me and Jennifer? Most definitely. Has Jennifer ever got to communicate with them? Most definitely. So the biggest thing for me is you go online, you bring social media into this. When all in all, at the end of the day, everyone has their own problems anyway. Social media does not care about what you have going on in your household. At all. They're going to comment, they're going to give their opinion, and then guess what? You're still going to have to deal with it. Has court been continued every 30 days? Yes, it has. I get a notice in the mail or via email from the Attorney General that's with Department of Human Services or whatever it is. I get an email every 30 to 60 days saying, hey, it's been extended. You know why it's being extended? Because I sent over my financial documents, which I'm supposed to do, because what they do with the child support case is they develop something called a spreadsheet or a worksheet, right? Something called a worksheet. And from there, they get the father's income and they also get the mother's income. All right. The father's income, the mother's income. I sent my income. It took my children's mother months for the income to be sent. It was never sent just until recently, actually. Right. So now I'm in a place where I'm like, okay, now maybe this train can get moving. Maybe we can get something going, right? Because once we get this on paper, once we get this documented, a judge signs off on it, the amount is set, the amount is set. Now, unfortunately, the county that I reside in, that does not tie into visitation. So what I did as a father, complete transparency, I know that they're my children, right? But I did a paternity test. I did a DNA test because I wanted that to be documented, right? And I wanted it to be in the court system. So once child support order is set, then we can move forward with the legitimization side and saying, hey, this is visitation, whether you get them every other weekend, you get them every other month, however it is, however it works out. But the stigma online is you don't see your kids or you haven't sent me a dime. When record and documentation shows that I'm sending you over, at the time, over $2,000 a month for that, at that time, a 3 and a 2-year-old. They're not in school. You're a stay-at-home mom. Over $2,000 a month. And still, can I see the kids? It becomes a thing of, oh yeah, most definitely. You can come get them. You guys can spend time with them. It becomes something like, it's like playing tug of war, because one week you're good, and then the next week your hormones are all over the place, and then now, oh, you can't see them. Fathers deal with this all the time with single moms because they're bitter. And the bitterness did not start until I got married, right? Because even before Jennifer and I got married, we were trying to work it out. We said we were going to meet up and we were going to establish a written agreement, because when you have a written agreement outside the court, you can go through mediation, you can have a written agreement, you can have an attorney deal with it, you can get it signed off, you can get it notarized. And guess what? That is the agreement. The father agrees to pay this and see them on this date. And the mother has her side of the agreement as well. We went back and forth for months about this agreement. Okay, I landed back in town from a trip. Are we going to meet up face to face so we can come up with this agreement? Because I'm tired of this back and forth. We're not going to do this back and forth no more. Let's get something set in stone and let's stick to the agreement. We had an agreement, but was it written and notarized? No, it wasn't. And guess what? Even after she filed child support the first time, on my birthday last year, June 18th, let me share the photo. On my birthday, photos don't lie. On my birthday, 6/18/2024, documents don't lie. She wrote a letter because she said, no, we don't have to do this in court. I was completely fine about doing this in court, because I was like, listen, like I said from the start, we can do this in court and we can get this, we can get this set in stone. I would no longer pursue this case, and I ask again that all action cease. This didn't come from me. I didn't beg mercy from the judge or from the clerk of court. This came from my children's mother. Yes, the document was notarized. Yes, her ID was attached to it. This document is safe because she no longer lives at that address. I don't throw people's addresses out there, by the way. I don't do that. Because I don't stoop that low. This is her company, Hall School of Investments, right? Very seldom I would do Cash App. Very seldom I would do Venmo. This has to be documented in a certain way. Every month, like clockwork. And look at the date, because I'm going to show you more than one screenshot. Yeah, I put her license on social media. Yes. But when a woman air a man out, y'all don't have nothing to say. Get him, sis. Like, come on now. At this point, it's a double-edged sword.
She ain't dox you though.
Let me choose a different one. That was January. But what about February?
2024. That's 2024.
What about hold on. And on top of this, not only was I sending this like clockwork, what about March? What about March? What about April? What about April? Hold on. Time out. Whoever your Keo is, we're at the end of May. We're talking last year before child support was filed for. And also then dismissed. Because I'm showing you documents from her sending me invoices. But what you're not seeing is all of the side payments I sent her. Like I said, I don't send over $500 via Cash App. Most business people wouldn't know that though. Right? Let's go to May. So the stigma of Christian not paying his child, well, this is not even child support though. This was not sent to the Department of Human Services or whatever you want, the Department of Child Support, whatever it is, the DCS, I don't know what it's called, right? This was sent basically as a father who gives a right? Now, for all of you saying, oh, it's 2025, guess what? This ended when she decided to take it to court. Because my attorney at the time said, everything ceases until we get a child support order in place. Now, do I want to continue to provide financially for my children, aside from seeing them? Most definitely. But here's another thing. I don't have a phone number. I also don't have an address. We don't know where she lives. When we went to the court because she filed for abandonment, guess what? The judge said I have no jurisdiction over this because there's no child support order. I was also sent a cease and desist from her. So what do you do when you get a cease and desist from somebody? Do you continue to push and push and push and then risk getting another charge, maybe stalking or harassment? Because I have that screenshot too. For the record, I haven't seen my children since May of last year. She sent the court. This is where it becomes it's become frustrating for the court as well. You send the court a letter, like I showed you guys, to cease this because you're no longer pursuing this, and you and the child's father want to work out something outside of court. And then you go back again to file child support. This has now become like ping pong. It's like back and forth. With me as a father, I want to be on this. I've sent my documents to the attorney general that's over this case that works for the Department of Child Services. I've sent everything. And I can't control if I get a continuation date every 30 to 60 days. I can't control that. Right? I can't. So there is currently no child support order. There's no child support order. I've been waiting on a child support order so we can continue to do things as the court puts in place. Because once the court puts it in place, neither one of us want to back out of that because there then becomes legal consequences, right? Neither one of us want that. Damn sure not me because I've dealt with enough legal consequences in my past. Also,
whew, child, that was a lot. Now, I did look at what he put up on the screen. In that last screenshot, it was stating that the baby mama was telling him to cease all contact because he hadn't seen the kids or whatever. It was showing that he was paying her child support up until May of last year when he said that they just, she took him to court for child support, and that's when he stopped paying her. So, I mean, it's showing that he was doing for her. $2,200 a month is a lot for two kids that are 3 and 2. So I don't know why she then went and filed for child support if he was paying. I don't know. Who knows? That could have just been what he did for that time. Because I know with my raggedy baby daddy, when he did decide to pay child support, he would pay it 1 month and then maybe the next month and then not pay it again for the rest of the year. So, you know what I'm saying? So you just never know. But gotta give it to him. He did come with his receipts or whatever. Do I believe everything that he just said verbatim? No, but I do believe that he was doing something for the children. Something. You know what I'm saying? Now, after he posted his response, the baby mama came back and said this. She showed a screenshot that says, just wanted to send you an update. I'm trying to get home. We've been stuck in San Francisco since hopefully returning Friday evening. Our flight was rescheduled to this morning and got canceled again due to this global IT outage. This world is in shambles. Now, this says Monday, July 22nd. So I'm guessing this was of last year. Just really focusing on this rent right now. My head isn't worried about you being here for the morning. It's all good. Just prioritizing and making sure our children will have a home, have a good week, take care. Also, wait a minute. Was that him in the gray or her in the blue? Okay, but the response was, I'm doing what I can to expedite this wire. The network has to lock all episodes before they issue payment. So that's been the holdup, and it's all one lump sum. Okay, so that was him in the gray, her in the blue. And she says, this man always deflects. Let's focus on the issue. So he was basically saying the reason why he couldn't send her no more money because it was an IT outage. Woo, baby. The systems had shut down and he couldn't send the payment, honey. Ooh, child. That was a mess. Now, I'm assuming, like I said, this was from July 2024, which disputes what he just said, that all payments stopped in May because she filed for child support in court. But this is showing that in July of last year, he was supposed to send payment, but was saying that he couldn't because the internet was pretty much down. Girl. Then you see in August, it says August 6th, are you still unable to help with any funds for last month or this month for the kids? Oh, wow. So he didn't even send it for July. Ugh. He says, I am working on sending something this week. She says, okay, what did you say was important that you wanted to talk to me about. He says, we spoke about meeting up to discuss a few things about a month ago. She said, it's okay. I just wasn't sure if it was something that urgently needed to be discussed. Have a good evening. Then he said, hi, I hope you're well. Just wanted to check in. Is your mother still in town? She responds on the 10th and says, good morning. She is, but I've decided to no longer try working things out amongst ourselves and meeting up. Accommodating you hasn't gone very well for our children. Know that I'm not blaming you or anyone else, and definitely don't want to pick a fight. This is not coming from a place of pain or resentment at all. I meant everything I said previously when I told you I was not angry. I wanted to be able to handle this by discussing it in person, but at this point, I don't feel safe and trusting enough to do so. I've just taken the time to process what's been happening. As far as requesting to close the case, they will no longer be closing it after I retracted the closing of the case early this month. I just don't want to risk the chance of any false promises or manipulation moving forward. And then she wrote on her IG story, for everyone asking why now my kids keep getting pulled into this. So here we are, gloves are off and the truth must come out. This isn't just for me and my kids, but the countless women I've spoken to who have been schmoozed and manipulated by this man mentally, physically, and emotionally. Wow. So that just shows that he was lying. She hadn't even went all the way through with the child support or whatever at that point. He was still telling her he was going to send her July and August and hadn't done so. So of course she was tired of waiting at this point because he hadn't done what he was supposed to do. Wow. And then she shows on April 29, 2025, it says, thank you. Tomorrow's hearing will be continued for 30 days to allow further discovery regarding Mr. Walden's income. So his last name ain't even Gold, child. Oh, Jennifer. This man over here playing a game of Clue. So his last name is really Walden, not Gold. So she said, hey, he says they want my statements. No, they are looking for the $6 million. Oh, and you love and miss your kids so much, but you were in the same city and didn't attempt to see them. You're a fraud. Ew. Then she shows this documentation from the Superior Court of Cobb County, and she wrote on it, when you say she the one not providing docs and prolonging the case, but court doc and email says waiting on Walden. So she disputed everything he just said. Girl, this is a mess. And Jennifer then got herself involved in this mess. Girl, ain't no way I'm getting myself involved in all this back and forth and child support and court. Like, this man stayed in court and you was willing enough to marry that mess. Good luck, Chuck, with that, because child, ain't no way. I hope the baby mama gets everything that she's asking for. Unfortunately, with men like that, it's going to be inconsistent. It will never be her getting child support on a monthly consistent basis. That man is going to be much like my baby daddy, in and out of jail, because it's going to come a point where he's going to get so far behind that she will be able to file felony child support against him and get his ass locked up, because he going to keep on playing. So she might as well just do what she got to do for her kids, get up on her feet and get to a point where she's not dependent on his help, because he will never be consistent. He's not going to be a consistent father. He's not going to be consistent with help, support of any kind. So if she wants the headache of continuing trying to get something out of him, go right ahead. But she might as well act like he ain't even there. Act like he dead and gone, child, because that's how you have to treat men like him. And I wouldn't even take myself through the agony, the headache, the hurt, the pain to be going back and forth in court with him. God gonna fix him one way or another, honey. You ain't even got to do nothing. Will I still file and do what I got to do? Of course, but I wouldn't be dependent on that money at all. He is the absolute worst, and he's obviously a liar. He talks a good game. He has a gift of gab, but when you do your research, you see that everything that he says is a lie. So, girl, y'all let me know what y'all think about all of this. Let's talk about it, child. Please make sure to thumbs up this video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on your post notifications so you know my videos drop. I love you, T Squad, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.